I'm preparing for a solar flare and an EMP that'll end civilization and send us back to the Wild West.
Train business.
Let's get one thing out of the way immediately. There is nothing wrong with prepping. Being prepared for disaster is a great idea, whether you got something as simple as a box of candles and matches, flashlights and batteries, a first aid kit, hell, maybe even a gun. Responsibly stored, in case somebody breaks into your house and shit. There's nothing wrong with that. There are some people out there who take prepping a little too far though. Now I'm not talking about the people that have some canned goods in the basement, you know, a couple months supply of water. These are understandable things, but the kind of people I'm talking about, well, we're gonna have a ball learning about them today, so let's get right into it.
If the end of the world was upon us, would you be ready?
This isn't gonna be about Jesus, is it?
Alright, so what are some of the things these people are actually prepping for?
I'm preparing for a dirty bomb blast.
I guess it could happen.
For sudden sea level rise caused by the collapse of the Greenland ice sheet.
Yeah, global warming, sure.
For an economic collapse that will change the world forever.
Well, we're fucking living in that, aren't we?
Today, people all across America are stocking extensive amounts of food, water, and ammunition.
Well, it doesn't seem that far-fetched, right? I mean, these are extreme circumstances, sure, but they're not exactly ridiculous. I'm well aware a lot of these decisions span from what you live near, but in fairness, no shit, I live literally a quarter mile from some of the largest gas tank depots, like, around here. And I don't mean gas pumps. I mean the fucking big, huge goddamn things that they store the gas in, where the tankers themselves actually fill up. So what I'm trying to say is, if for some reason that were the target of some sort of attack, I'm fucking vapor. I'm vaporized. Everything within, like, at the minimum, I think, 50-mile radius, fucking gone. And you don't see me prepping and digging a goddamn missile silo in my backyard, so... Whatever. Let's get things started with Big Al.
I'm preparing for a nuclear war. I sure hope I never, ever need this thing.
Have you been outcast?
Solitude is his greatest defense against a nuclear doomsday. Al has spent 30 years
30 years?
building his bug-out home into the side of a 1,700-meter mountain.
When does he consider it finished? Like, and what if something had happened during the first year he was building it? Would it have been enough to withstand it? I guess I just don't understand how you can still be building the damn thing 30 years later. I gotta slow down on the questions or else we'll never get through this thing. And trust me, we have got to get through this. There's some real funny shit coming up, I promise.
And he prepares for World War III by living alone in his 186-square-meter underground bunker for 3 months of every year.
Yeah, I bet that gets boring. What do you do, old Al, to keep yourself entertained down there?
He looks for ways to keep himself sane, like experimenting with his 1,500 cans of food on a recipe he calls bunker stew.
They really try to make the idea of cooking a simple fucking stew exciting as hell in this guy's life. Maybe that is the only excitement this poor guy has.
I pick and choose about 5 different cans of goodies.
Get a computer like the rest of us basement dwellers.
We'll start out with some green beans. That looks good. All the fixins.
Fixins?
Al has enough cans of beans, beef, corn, and soup to survive 300 days off bunker stew alone.
We even get a fucking song.
Let's hunker down in the bunker and eat some bunker stew.
Oh my god, I should get my guitar. Have a sing-along with old Big Gay Al.
All I can say is, dear bunker.
Oh, this is so sad. Is he done yet? Nope. I love picante and iced tea.
You've been a friend of mine. Don't just say, well, he lives underground, so he's a nut.
Dude, I don't care where you live. You're a fucking nut.
Am I nuts, or are you?
No. So then we got people like John, who I find the easiest to identify with out of all these nut jobs.
John put his efforts and thousands upon thousands of dollars toward turning his home into a technological fortress.
I mean, he's nuts too, sure, but at least he's a little more realistic with his measures. In fact, kind of reminds me of someone.
Gentlemen, I'm sure you recall my long-dreamt dream of building a guard tower in my yard.
I am preparing for the unexpected.
This rich bastard has a house on the edge of a cliff. Cameras everywhere.
All I have to do is, say double-click on it. Boom, there we go.
Well, that's what fucking surveillance cameras are designed to do.
With no one to watch their backs, defense can be difficult for lone wolves.
Goddamn, talk about overkill. Listen to this.
Today, he's test driving a new high-tech prep that he hopes he can use to keep all outsiders at a distance.
What, a fucking gun? That's the high-tech prep?
We'll get you familiar with the system.
It doesn't shoot lasers, you know, just bullets.
The Beowulf rifle fires enormous 50 caliber rounds.
Pretty fucking powerful bullets, though. I'll give them that.
It can knock chunks out of brick walls and shatter concrete blocks.
It's been through 3 mediums of metal.
Oh, no shit. That is literally what it's fucking designed to do. And they're like so impressed by it. Oh, did you know that this gun that I bought, I don't know why I went to a British accent. I guess because it's on the hill the other day. You don't want to be one of those guys who just like passed on me.
Oh, I saw that guy.
This is supposed to fucking shoot bullets that go through 3 layers of metal, and now I'm so impressed. I don't know why the fuck I went British.
A guy breaks into your house, but you don't have a gun. How are you going to shoot him?
Like a fucking Rambo up here.
Fortify their defenses and keep the world at a distance.
You will give your rifle a girl's name, because this is the only pussy you people are going to get.
Next up, we got people like Brian who value mobility over being stationary. Thus, he keeps what he calls the bug-out vehicle.
I'm preparing for any terrorist attack with the ultimate bug-out vehicle.
You know, I kind of find it hard to pick on this dude.
He feels he and his dog Brash will be safest out on the road on their own.
He seems more of like a loner and honestly not as insane as some of the people in this episode.
Every corner and cupboard of his cab is stuffed with compact packets of dehydrated food.
What really cracks me up though is they make such a big fucking deal about these supply caches that this dude has buried all around the country. Well, apparently 950 miles. And I was like, 950 miles? Why?
Or 1 full tank of gas.
Oh, I see. So he can always get there with his little full tank of gas. Okay.
There's probably $500 or $600 worth of gear.
So that means this dude's already made this trip and driven 1,000 miles a couple of times to bury the shit. All right, fine. What's so goddamn important that you need buried in a couple of different spots across the country?
You can never go wrong with a full-on supply of duct tape. $500 or $600 worth of gear. For me, I threw in a pair of glasses. $500 or $600 worth of gear. This is called the hot water rocket. $500 or $600 worth of gear. It's designed to take a full pint of water to a full boil in about an hour.
Duct tape, glasses, and a hot water boiler. Okay, Brian.
I can reconstitute about 2 servings of any dehydrated or freeze-dried food just with the water that's in this 1 pint tube.
Yeah, that's great and all. What the fuck are you gonna do when the whole goddamn vehicle catches fire one day and all your dried meals go up in smoke, huh?
Most of your siphon pumps, your top line's gonna be your sucker line.
This dude's gotta be taught how to steal gas.
And the bottom line's gonna be your feed line.
The top hose is where I want to pull the fuel from.
Top hose in there, bottom hose in there.
I hope he's not paying for this fucking lesson like this other dude later in the video. And next up, we meet Jeff, who spends his free time with friends, apparently building makeshift flamethrowers because he's a damn pyro, I suppose. Now look, I think flamethrowers are as cool as the next guy.
Fire! 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 Fire!
These people are fucking nuts.
But what his fortress really needs is a woman's touch.
This is where I seriously began to question life. You see,
Jeff's gone 6 years without a girlfriend.
Jeff is on a date.
Any potential partner also has to be willing to share him with the other love of his life.
And this date is like watching the worst episode of Blind Date that you've ever saw. Hey, where do you think would make a great first date, Jeff?
A decommissioned 3,700 square meter intercontinental ballistic missile silo.
Yeah, he owns the fucking thing.
Just be careful ducking in through the door.
Listen to that unsure sigh. This lady's fucking worried to death she's gonna get murdered in there, and the only reason she went in is because she knew she had the camera crew with her.
How far down does this go? I think you got some work to do to
a little bit. Give this chick a medal or something for being such a good sport about it. And God bless.
God bless her. What the fuck is that? That's not my style.
Her honesty.
Fairly forward for a second date.
Creepy.
Look, it gets even more cringy.
There's 1.4 million gallons of water, pre-stored.
Dude straps up in a goddamn harness and fucking rappels down the side of this thing.
I just actually got dizzy just a little bit.
Right? Fills up this little tiny ass bottle of Gatorade. They didn't even have a cap for it. Couldn't take like a gallon jug or something down there now, could you? Imagine how long this really took too without the edits. The poor woman, she's just standing up there with the camera guy who's probably trying not to laugh his ass off at this god-awful date. And when he eventually climbs back up, it's just like so fucking sad how triumphant he hands her. He pulls it from his, he's like, holds up this little ass bottle of shitty water. Jesus, at least he filters the damn water first, but yeah, it's a date this chick is never gonna forget.
All right, so do I just pour it up at the top then?
Mm-hmm. You know he spent way more energy than he replenished getting that fucking water to begin with. That's what's so sad about it. She was right. She's like, why don't you just get a pump, you dumbass?
Seems like there could be easier ways, like drop a submersible pump or something like over the edge.
This next dude, Jay.
For Jay, who lives and preps in the heart of New York City.
Like, I barely heard what they said because I was still processing. I was dumbfounded by the idea that this guy fucking pays a guy to teach him how to prep.
But his prepping coach, Shane Hobel, has a tip for him and other preppers on the go.
Like, what the fuck? Honestly.
Pound this up.
As the fountain water is poured over the charcoal, chlorine, sediment, and other substances that would make it undrinkable chemically bind to the charcoal and are removed.
This dude just willy-nilly giving an exorbitant amount of money, I'd imagine, to learn how to fucking drink water from a dirty-ass fountain in New York through some charcoal and a goddamn handkerchief. Seriously, that was like a $200 fucking lesson, and this chump could have learned that from like a Boy Scout book at his local library. What a dumbass. Alright, mission drink New York fountain water accomplished, guy. Moving on, because as hard as it is to believe, it gets worse.
Baby, will you marry me and prepare for World War III?
What is your major malfunction, numbnuts?
Oh my fucking god, this guy.
Brian Murdoch was a single guy living in Somerville, Massachusetts.
This fucking guy.
A year ago, he met Tatiana on a dating website.
Of course he did.
And then made 2 trips to Colombia to get to know her.
Of course he did.
I'm so excited.
This is like the most embarrassing thing on here, okay? Like, she arrives, right?
Brian is beginning Tatiana's prepper education.
She literally just sat down on the bed, hasn't even had a fucking second to unpack a single bag. And he's already up her ass about possessions that he pulled out of her bags, that she brought over, that he finds useless.
What are these? Honestly, I mean, these are beautiful shoes for going out in the town, but
look at that fucking "are you serious, dude" face.
We had to move quick. Do you really think this is, you know,
She ain't been here 5 minutes and she's already sick of his shit.
I need to get out of here right now.
Better take her out to shoot a gun at a banana.
It was the closest I could come to a plantain. I know you like plantains.
What the fuck is that?
I appreciate that, baby.
Sometimes
I love you too.
I want to kill you.
Oh god, I can't spend any more time on this dude. Good god. Let's do it on TV. Let's do it on national TV with this. Alright, next up we meet
Native American prepper Snake Blocker.
Who?
Snake Blocker.
And his opera singing wife. She's not really into it, which I find hilarious.
He's trying to teach her how to survive in the wilderness by eating and drinking.
And yeah, I can't blame her when motherfuckers just digging up anthills and eating them bitches raw.
Just using my hands if I didn't have a shovel or anything. Want to crunch them right away, just in case they still are alive, and they will pinch your tongue.
Skip that shit.
Tiny bit of juice that comes out from their guts.
Let me tell you though, Snake Blocker's a fucking badass.
Their elaborate preparations.
What a display of manliness. This motherfucker just knifed a wasp nest in half and like ate it.
You want to try one, Melissa?
No, I really don't want to.
Next up, we got a dude who decides that he has to walk up a mountain.
By his insistence that they prepare for every eventuality, including running out of fresh water.
Piss in a bottle, and we have to see him piss in the bottle.
Maybe the only water we have to the top of the mountain.
And he fucking drinks it. Ugh. He thinks he's a goddamn comedian.
It's actually not bad.
And I just feel so bad for his wife.
Tastes like chamomile tea.
God damn it, dude. Stop drinking it.
Once you get over the repulsion...
It's the most disgusting fucking thing I've ever seen.
Breakfast of champions, I promise.
Thanks. I'll pass.
And that's hard to say since the next guy...
Welcome to my poop garden.
I know shit makes a good fertilizer, but I'm looking at this dude's dookie water.
These black tubes feed 1 yard underground.
I don't want to do that.
Every human being over the course of a year puts out enough urine to fertilize enough plants to feed themselves for that year.
Moving on.
Johnny O is a landscaper, husband, and father of 2.
Johnny O. This dude is the definition of every ex-cop badass out there.
Prepping for the invisible threat of radiation means never knowing from which direction danger will come.
They're gonna stop radiation with a crossbow.
We emphasize hyper-redundancy.
Yeah, we're twins. Not identical, fraternal.
I married a twin, so
Yeah, if something happens to his wife, he's got a backup wife.
naturally there was hyper-redundancy there.
This next motherfucker, Craig, thinks that waking his daughter up at 4 a.m. in the morning...
What time is it?
We gotta do it now.
Dad, no.
...to shoot explosives that he's taped to trees down a fucking river is a great idea.
Yes! Nice.
What skill is this teaching her?
All right, Em.
And who owns that land? And those trees?
Craig only has to deal with his daughter.
Oh, so now we're just gonna block the whole fucking river too? Really? What a douchebag.
Braxton Southwick has 6 children to win over. And his very skeptical wife, Kara.
Motherfucker has radioactive suits for his entire family. And oh my god.
But he's concerned they're not taking the threat seriously enough.
How do you even arrange this?
Braxton has arranged for them to encounter a surprise military checkpoint.
Like, are these his friends he paid to act?
You went through the potential contaminated area. What we will have to do is do a check to determine that you have no contamination before you go into the clean area on the far side of this barrier.
Oh my god, these guys take this shit way too seriously. It's so fucking cringe.
Dad!
This dude must have a weird fucking fetish or something, honestly.
First thing to do is take off all of your clothes. Take the sponge, use the sponge to scrub yourself down from head to toe.
Who pays money to be forced to strip naked in front of a bunch of dudes and take a shower out in the middle of the goddamn desert?
All right, he's clean. Step on through.
To keep his family happy and prepping, Braxton looks for ways to involve his kids in all his preps.
Yeah, who fucking cares when he can make milkshakes at home with a goddamn bicycle, an alternator, and a battery?
Go for it, Braxy. Come on, faster. You almost got it. There it goes. It's going. Yes. Go.
Yeah, because when the end comes, I know I'll be dying for a protein shake that costs me 10 times more calories to make than it fills up when I drink it. Oh my god, this is an ex-goober.
I'm preparing for a solar flare and an EMP that'll end civilization and send us back to the Wild West.
You can't say all that while dressed like that riding a goddamn choo-choo.
Train business.
You have lost your mind!
Yep, and I don't miss it!
The park's train can patrol the grounds.
Yeah, nobody will hear that fucking thing coming.
The Old West Arcade is actually a Doomsday bunker that features a hidden tunnel system with access to defensive positions.
This motherfucker just popped out of a well that he got through from a hidden tunnel.
Even the putt-putt golf course was built with the apocalypse in mind.
Covers the roadway that goes all along the front side of Deadwood. Unbeknownst to the paying public, this is a series of sniper positions.
You can't make this shit up.
With lots of exits and lots of fields of fire.
You hear that, guys? Because you can fucking see. Because you can fucking see around this place. That means it was built as an Armageddon standoff. This dude really is a fucking nutcase. They start building these goddamn World War II punji traps. And then they throw a fucking dummy onto it. Oh. Isn't this shit illegal, honestly? Like, you can't booby trap your house with a shotgun and a string at the door and shit. That's, like, fucking highly illegal. So I would imagine having goddamn bamboo spikes trying to surround your place with it is just as illegal.
No, I don't think he's gonna make it.
That's the one that did him in. Right.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's
below, right
that's
above
a
the
lethal
rib
blow
cage,
right there.
right in the throat.
I assume they're just demonstrating, but how the fuck do you get to this point?
For preppers who want to combine their resources with those of a larger group,
God, how many people are in this episode, honestly?
finding the right partners to prep with can be a challenge.
These next two dumb fucks, they have the worst intro ever.
Be cool, be cool.
Get on your knees!
This is not the plan.
Dad, it's Steven!
Come on in.
Today, they're conducting a practice exercise from inside a 6-meter high hunting blind.
Oh yeah, it's really fucking hard to spot out in the open. The killer camo paint job. It has like 2 fucking brown lines on it. It's like the dumbest fucking soap opera I've ever seen.
Target acquired, Tom. Fire in the hole.
No, you're not bleeding. You don't have any discharge. Does it hurt at all?
Dramatic.
I can't hear you.
The music.
I don't want to stand. Things are spinning.
The tears.
Man, you up, man. You fired inside the freaking blind, dude.
He has no choice now but to let him go. For doing what they went out there to do.
I might have to let you go, dude. I'm serious.
He's letting him go because he shot a gun from the thing they went to shoot guns from.
I'm sorry.
Like, literally, Steve didn't even do anything wrong, and I don't even know why I care. He did what they went there to do, and then they make it this fucking dramatic.
I might have to let you go. Well, then, I'm heartbroken.
Jesus, what else we got?
Some also prefer to arm themselves with secret weapons concocted from ordinary household items.
You mean a fucking Molotov? It ain't that secret, okay?
Former police officer Jay Blevins.
Jay, Jesus, this dude is fucking worse than Johnny. He actually is a former policeman, and he is cringy as hell.
We're preparing for the breakdown of social order caused by an economic collapse.
They make a big fucking deal over some homemade pepper spray that he whips up. And even crazier, this son of a bitch somehow convinces 2 of his buddies to actually participate in like a mock break-in so he can test out the fucking spray. It's so bad.
Stop right there. What do you want?
They're gonna voluntarily get sprayed in the eyes with this shit.
Stop! Stay down!
Stop! Stay down! I said that really believable, right?
Rather than hide his preps, Jay Blevins decided to get his friends and family involved in his prepping.
What, by holding Bible studies?
Together, he believes they can defend their neighborhood through whatever means necessary.
Well, then what do you need the guns, baton, and pepper spray for?
In a shelter-in-place scenario, the network puts boards over the windows and doors.
His big plan, by the way, is to put a bunch of plywood, which takes about 30 minutes to set up, so imagine what can happen during that 30 minutes. Anyway, they block all the fucking windows and the door on the lower exit, and then they can lean out of the top windows and attack as need be. That's gonna fucking happen.
Mine! Come on, your kids are hungry. And by the time you hear him doing it, you're gonna shoot him.
Holly will be upstairs with the 22, hopefully.
Picking you off.
Even worse, they have the mock break-in, like I told you, and it just makes me slink further and further down in my seat every second.
This is John's house.
Get off the property!
Go, go.
Scenario's over. Safety's on, guns holstered.
We gotta wrap this shit up.
As a former Marine, Ray was taught.
Last dude, who fucking cares what his name is? He's just as crazy as everybody else. He's given interviews for a new couple to join his prep team and then to test them.
Ray has instructed them to secure his bug out location.
They secure the area and are admitted to the group.
Hands behind your back. Clear.
That's about it, honestly. I can't fucking spend any more time on this shit. It is hard. Like, every time you turn around in this episode, the thing you just saw is fucking superseded. I don't even know if that's the right word. It's just made worse by the next thing in it. Like, every fucking person is crazier than the last. But before I forget, listen to this killer line that was delivered pretty early in the episode. It was in the intro and I skipped over it, but like...
Live well, die hard. Let's do it.
What does that even mean?
Live well, die hard. Let's do it.
Live well, die hard. Ignoring the boner joke, dying with a boner, like, live well. I know it's just supposed to be a little, thing to live by, but no. How would one live by live well, die hard? Live well. It's so fucking open for interpretation. The die hard part. It just live well, fine. I'm on board with you. Die hard. Whatever. I hope you've enjoyed this close look at those that'll be left for us to rely on when inevitably society collapses. And whether or not we want to take advantage of that or whether or not they let us is an entirely different story. All I'm fucking worried about is the collapse of the internet. That's why I digitally archive and hoard all kinds of shit.